You know, when David Shaw first entered the NHL after his successful major junior career, we knew he was going to make an impact, and he did that in more ways than one. Now, NHL 6 teams: Quebec, New York, Edmonton, Minnesota, Boston, and Tampa Bay. A big draft pick by the Nordiques in the 82 entry draft. The native of St. Thomas, Ontario, was taken 13 overall. Now, the big part of Thomas's career, he skated with the Kitchener Rangers of the OHL. Now, at that time, Kitchener was still a powerhouse. In his rookie season with the Rangers 82, Shaw earned 31 points in 68 games. He added 4 points in 15 playoff contests as Kitchener advanced to the 82 Memorial Cup. Now, in 5 games of the tournament, Shaw had 2 assists as Kitchener won the Cup. He would then be drafted by the Nordiques again as a 13 overall pick in the 82 NHL entry draft. Now, Shaw decided to return to Kitchener for the 83 season and had 18 goals and 74 points in 57 games with the Rangers, while adding 12 points in 12 playoff games as Kitchener unfortunately lost to Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds in the third round of the playoffs and were unable to defend their title. Now, in 84, Shaw scored 14 goals and 48 points in 58 games, adding 13 points in 16 playoff contests as Kitchener advanced to the 84 Memorial Cup. Now, Shaw earned 10 points in 4 games, but Kitchener lost to the 67s in the final game. Now, Shaw made his pro debut during the 83 season, appearing in 2 games with the Nordiques, earning no points. Shaw then returned for 3 more games with the Nordiques in 84. However, he was pointless. Now, in 85, Quebec assigned Shaw to the Frankton Express of the AHL, where he had 13 points in 48 games, earning a promotion to the Nordiques. Shaw played in 14 games with Quebec, earning no points, but returned to Frankton, where he had no points in 2 playoff games. Now, in 86, big year for Quebec, Shaw played his first full season with the Nordiques, as he had 26 points in 73 games with Quebec, with a plus 14 rating, as Quebec finished in first place in the Adams Division. However, Shaw missed the playoffs due to an injury, as the Nordiques were swept in the first round by the Hartford Whalers. Now, a lot of people felt that Quebec lacked strength against the Whalers. Whalers went on to play Montreal, took them to 7, and basically Shaw's lack of presence there and some other key injuries really hurt the Nordiques. Now, in the 86-7 season, Shaw had 19 points, all assists in 17 games, as well as a minus 35 rating. He would again not see any playoff action. Now, here was a big shift for Shaw. On September 30, 87, the Enforcer was traded with John O'Grodnick to the Rangers for Jeff Jackson and Terry Carkner. Now, with the Rangers, he was one of their top blueliners. He had a career-high 32 points in 68 games with the Rangers in 88. However, New York failed to qualify for the playoffs. Now, in 89, Shaw recorded 17 points in 63 games with a plus 14 rating, helping the Rangers make into playoffs. In 4 playoff games, Shaw earned 2 assists. But the big thing that year, of course, wasn't his consistent play. He was suspended for 12 games by the league after slashing Mary Lemieux of the Penguins in the throat during a game on November 3rd, 88. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but it's good to talk about it because it was a cause célèbre, as we say. Now, again, Shaw was suspended for a dozen contests by the NHL for slashing Mario at 3:41 in the first period of the Rangers' October 30th 88 game versus the Penguins. Shaw flagrantly clubbed his stick across Lemieux's helmet and chest, sending Lemieux to the ice for several minutes. Shaw's hit was actually retaliation for a cross-check in front of the net by Lemieux, and Rangers players claimed Lemieux was faking his injury to draw a longer penalty because of the time of the slash. The Rangers led the Penguins 8-2. Now, I watched that. That was a deliberate slash. I don't think Mario was faking. Now, Shaw eventually received a major penalty and a match for the incident. The match provoked a review by NHL officials. Now, eager to protect a star player like Lemieux, the NHL was determined to really crack down on Shaw. Now, the suspension was announced on November 2nd, 88, and Shaw did not return to action until the Rangers' November 26, 88 game at the New York Islanders. Now, the Rangers did not appeal the suspension, although coach Michel Tigre-Bergeron publicly stated that he felt Shaw had been given too harsh a punishment. He put it this way: if someone tried to really hurt Wayne Gretzky in 1982, he would probably get 50 games. They were lucky that Mario's incident only lasted 12, but maybe because at the time, not saying retaliation, but it was a different league at the time. Worse incidents will only get 8 or 10 games. But if that was 5 years before or 5 years after, he would have probably easily got 40 games. Now, interesting career before he made the NHL. There was a Memorial Cup All-Star First Team 84 Kitchener, OHL All-Star First Team in 84, again for Kitchener. His defensive pairing for Kitchener was actually Al McGuinness. Now, he had given up the NHL for a while, but he came out of retirement to sign with Chicago on January 30th, 2001. Now, he played with several NHL teams after the Rangers. Now, the shoulder injury that really hampered his career in the 1990 season was against the Nords. Now, he lost a lot of games. That incident occurred on November 2nd, 89. Now, in 91, he rebounded. He played in 77 games, scoring 12 points in the 6 playoff contests. He had no points. Now, Shaw began the 92 season with the Rangers, earning an assist in 10 games before being traded to the Oilers on November 12, 81 for Jeff Bukaboom in a trade that completed an October 91 transaction that saw the Rangers send Bernie Nicholls, Stephen Rice, and Louis DeBrusque to the Oilers for Mark Messier. So, again, Messier for Shaw, DeBrusque, Stephen Rice, and Nicholls. So pretty interesting trade. Now, Shaw would appear in 12 games with the Oilers with a goal and assists with a -8 rating before being traded to the Stars for Brian Glynn on January 21st, 92. Now, he finished the 92 season with the Stars, earning 7 assists in 37 games, helping the squad qualify for the playoffs. Now, he had a good playoff for his squad with 2 points in 4 games, 7 contests, as the Stars lost to the Red Wings, a very good series in the first round. Now, Shaw was eventually traded to Boston. Now, in Boston, he tied his career high with 77 games, with a career high 10 goals, helping the Bruins to first place in the Adams Division. His 24 points was his highest total since earning 32 points in the 88 season. Shaw didn't earn an assist in 4 playoff games, but Boston was upset by the Sabres in the first round of the playoffs. Now, with Boston in 94, he had 1 goal and 9 assists in 55 games, with a goal and 2 assists in 13 games in the playoffs. Now, the lockout shortened 95 season. He played in 45 games with 7 points, and in the playoffs he had 1 assist. Now, 95, the Bruins traded Shaw to the Lightning for a third-round draft pick. Now, with the Lightning in 96, he appeared in 66 games with 12 points as he helped the Lightning get their first ever playoff berth. 97, 57 games with Tampa Bay. 98, 14 games with the Lightning before spending majority of the season with Las Vegas of the IHL. Now, on March 24, 98, he was traded with Brian Marchman, the Lightning's first-round draft pick, in a 98 NHL entry draft to San Jose Sharks for Andrei Nazarov, and the Florida Panthers' first-round draft pick in the 98 draft, which also was the first overall pick. Now, this would lead to Vincent Lecavalier. So, very interesting machinations here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, despite the trade, Shaw would not play a game for the Sharks, and he spent the 99 season with the Thunder, earning 13 points in 24 games. Now, like I said, he made a comeback during the 2001 season, playing with the Chicago Bulls of the IHL, 10 assists in 30 games, and Shaw had no points in 8 playoff contests. Now, post-career, he now lives in the Boston area with his wife Darcy, where he's working as mostly as a president for GROO International. Now, final NHL totals: 769 games, 41 assists, 153 points for 153 assists for 195 points, 906 minutes and penalties. Now, if we look at the rough stats, ladies and gentlemen, he was never considered a goon, but he wasn't scared to drop the gloves. His highest penalty minute total actually would have came in the 89 season, but he was suspended for 12 games. But his highest total was with Boston in 93. So some people say he was a goon. I don't think Shaw was a goon. It's just that the fact is, the hockey gods say if somebody cross-check you got to get back. Now, what's interesting about David Shaw, his wife, Trish, is a former New York City and Boston Marathon finisher, so very talented as well. Now, the Vincent Lecavalier trade, let's go over this again. Just break it down here. Brian Marchment and a 98 first rounder, which was later traded to San Jose for Andrei Nazarov, a 98 first round pick, would end up being Vincent Lecavalier. Now, can you imagine if Florida would have kept that pick and Vincent would have ended up in Florida? Wouldn't have had a Stanley Cup. Vincent would have become the superstar that he turned out to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, none are good requests by our good friend Bo Sheaves, but Bo can tell you, when he attacked, well, that's what he did, he attacked Mario, the league freaked right out completely. And everybody said, oh, he's a goon and stuff like that. He wasn't a goon. I mean, he was a solid player. But David Shaw, you got to look at this, 6'2", 205 pounds, he could protect himself. You come out of the OHL for the Kitchener Rangers, and the OHL was strong in the early 1980s. But I still say it was a mistake for Quebec to trade him. But Bergeron wanted Shaw for obvious reasons, because Bergeron was building a team that he hoped would be like the Nordiques, and pretty freaky. But he became kind of a soft hometown hero in Frankton. I know a lot of people saw him play down there, and if I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen, the 85 season. Let's go over the stats again. Sorry about that. That was the last time he played in the minor leagues until he came back to the Chicago Wolves. So and the Thunder, of course, in 98 and 99. But that year, the Frankton Express, like I said, 85 was a good year for the Express. He had a lot of followers down there, made a lot of friends, and the AHL. Not say he made a lot of enemies, because he pendulum in the totals don't follow, but a rugged guy. You didn't mess with Shaw. But you can always say, if Barry never played again, he was traded for Vincent Lecavalier, and he almost took out Super Mario. So NHL history is crazy. And number one draft pick when Quebec at the time needed strength on defense. But at 86 season again, when he got injured, it was a big loss for the Nordiques. Probably cost him maybe a chance at a cup. Who knows? To the midst of time. So that's the story with David Shaw. Thanks for listening. Bye.